Okay, let's begin seated. Crossing the legs or sitting in easy pose this time with the shin that doesn't feel, or the leg that doesn't usually go there first. So whatever you feel kind of most uncomfortable with, then just lay that leg forward. So usually I default to my right leg, so I'm going to put my left leg forward this time. And then just find a seat that feels comfortable where you're still resting the sitting bones down evenly on your mat and you still find some length in your spine. So I'm just cupping my hands just a little bit underneath my shin and my foot, my left foot here, just to find some balance and grounding, and then just to feel a little bit more kind of wrapped up into like one kind of circuit or one union here. Relax your shoulders. Take a couple of breaths. And I have just like a little bit of a smile on my face. Just, I don't know, just kind of thinking about maybe just I'm a little bit grateful today for having the time to be able to devote a little attention to some flow and to some ease. So maybe just give yourself a little smile. I think I probably remember hearing that too in Eat, Pray, Love, where Kutut, I guess that was his name, he said, it's to smile in your meditation, sit and smile. And it's true. It does give you this little feeling, this overall feeling of wellness or satisfaction. Now take the hands out and then just rest them on either side and then lengthen through your spine. And then we're just going to give our neck here a little bit of love. So let's draw some big circles with the neck. So take your neck over to your right ear to the right shoulder. Lower the neck down, just let it drop everything down, or lower your head down and let everything come all the way over to the left side. Nice and slowly all the way back, just rotate it, these nice big full circles. This really helps me to notice where I'm feeling that tension. And I know I've been feeling a little tension in my neck these last few days. So it helps to just slow it down a little bit and see where we might need to give some attention to. Don't forget to take all your breath in and out as you complete these rotations. And then other side. So just take the opposite direction. Take your time. And then on your last circle, just come back to a neutral position. And then just begin to turn from side to side. So just see how far. Maybe you can gently open your eyes as well, just to see where your gaze actually goes. Try not to strain the eyes. Just let your gaze follow the same direction as your nose. And just even yourself out. So just make sure you take the gaze at least one more time on each side. And just finish off on the opposite side of where you started, and then bring it back to the center again. So just give yourself a little shake. Shake out the shoulders, shake out the arms. Maybe even a little shake of the head side to side as well, in a little bit quicker fashion. And then you're just going to take your right hand, take a grasp, keep a nice open palm. So take a grasp of the skull and just kind of hook the fingers underneath the base of the skull. Again, just a gentle hooking here. And then you're going to exhale as you lower and just kind of pull your neck, or pull your head, I should say, to lengthen the neck. Down into the direction, imagine looking down in towards the armpit. But see if you can let go of that resistance or that need to want to kind of tuck everything in. Allow everything and imagine everything just really elongating here. And your out breath encouraging that. So the left shoulder moving down. Take an inhale to prepare. On your breath out, feel a little bit more pull of that right hand, just drawing the head down. Increasing the length in the neck. And then let it go. Just very slowly come away from that. You might feel the difference now. I feel like this side of my neck is really long and this one isn't. Now these are things that, I say that I feel in my body. So again, keep in mind that your body may feel a little bit different. You may have a different experience. You may feel like you don't have a lot of tension in the neck. You may not feel the difference between the two sides. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time to tap into a little bit of that body awareness and also kind of seeing how one side feels differently than the other. They may feel the same. So again, there's all these things that are just kind of generalities that we can kind of play with, but they're things to look out for and to consider because our bodies change all the time. So what you feel today may be different than what you feel tomorrow doing the same movement or same pose. That being said, let's go to the other side. So take a nice wide hand and then again, make sure to keep nice and tall. So you're not slouching here. You're still sitting up and maintaining that length in your spine, and then take that little gaze or that little kind of switch or turn of the head slightly down towards the direction of the armpit. And just a gentle encouragement of that left hand pulling the head down. Increasing the length in the neck. And there are big breaths here to encourage the release. And it helps to visualize. And just imagine you easing any tension away from wherever it may be. And as much as we're letting the right shoulder fall down on this side, also let the left shoulder fall. You don't want to hike up and create more tension on the left side now. So just be aware of that. Nice big breath in. And then breath out. And then just a little bit more pull if your body allows it. And then slowly back away from that. So we always want to think about being gentle. So side to side again, just to ease off, maybe some rounding or some rotations of the shoulder. Whatever feels good. So I'm even taking some rotations of the neck as I round my shoulders as well. Maybe some forward and back. All of these things that are necessary. So even though we always want to think about good, long posture, we want to think about all the directions that our body has the ability to move, all of the positions, the mobility in the neck and its ability to extend and to, flex and to just move side to side, and just all the directions that are necessary, all the turns that we need to make in a day. All the directions that we need to go in a day. So just playing with that and allowing for that. Now take your blocks. We're going to set them up so that they're on the middle height. Actually, you can do a couple of things. You can either set it up so that your block, maybe you just want to use one block for now on its lowest height. This is going to sit in and around kind of the upper back. So if you can imagine maybe even the bottom tips of the shoulder blades sitting kind of at the edge of this block. But again, you're going to find what feels comfortable for you as you lay on it. You're going to just kind of drape open there. You can put another block a little higher on that height to maybe give a little bit of stretch in the neck. You can also turn the block, so the one that would be first, on its middle height, and then you can just turn it so that imagine this part of the block being on your spine. And then this block is just used for your headrest. So they can either be the same height, middle height, or you can take it higher or lower. If you've got lots of range to extend in the neck, you don't have to use another block at all. You can just use the one for the spine. So it takes a little bit of maneuvering and a little bit of trial and error to see where it fits comfortably for you to rest. So my space, I'm going to guess right now, is probably about, I don't know, maybe close to 2 to 2.5 inches, maybe. But we'll see as I lay back. So I usually like to just kind of play a little bit, grab hold of that block to make sure that I'm resting it in a position that's going to rest on my spine. And then, okay, see, so I just need to actually open it up a little bit more, moving the headrest back a little bit more. You can either keep your knees bent. I probably need to move this block maybe up a little bit as well. I can feel that. And then palms are going to face up. Legs can rest out nice and long, your choice. I feel like I want to bend my knees today. But I'll also show you the option where you can, as I said, just use one block here and just rest. Like I said, top or bottom tips of the shoulder blade is just resting on that upper edge of the block. In this position, it feels okay for me to let my legs come out maybe a little bit lower. So you can see it just takes a little bit to kind of shuffle and find the position that feels right for you. So we're just kind of allowing the mid-spine to open up. I'm going to take a little bit more actually. There we go. Mid-spine to open up. You can see, as I said, you can even take a block behind you. So you still kind of get the same sensation of the shoulders falling back, even if you feel like you need that headrest here. So if you want a little higher for, like I said, a little bit of that neck stretch. But you'll know instinctively what feels good. We're just going to rest there a little bit longer. Remember, you can come away at any time. You can lose the block. You can just rest on your back. So we're not going into a ton of poses in this practice today, but we're just doing a few key things to pay attention to, releasing some tension, as I said, in the maybe in the neck and the shoulders a little bit today. And take a couple more breaths. And then bend your knees. And then just allow everything to fall off to the right side. Slowly coming away, so rolling more onto the right side into more of a fetal position. And then you can just begin to press yourself up. Now you can lose the block. And then just come onto your back again. We're just going to be here for a moment. Take your arms into a little bit of a cactus position. You can bend the knees, keep them bent as well, feet flat. And then you're just going to lace your fingers now, lengthen them up behind you, and now lengthen the legs out. Take a big breath. Reach the toes way in the opposite direction of the hands as you reach your palms and just stretch them all the way out. And then exhale and just let everything go. Take an inhale through the nose and again lengthen the toes, lengthen your reach. Breath out through the mouth. Let everything go. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And then bend your knees. Again, just let them fall over to the right side, coming into a brief fetal position. Roll yourself over onto your belly. And then take your right arm out nice and long. Take your left hand or left finger is like a kickstand. So they're just going to ground down like this on your left side. Take your gaze, turn it towards the left hand. So right ear down towards your mat. And then just roll yourself over. I'm just going to move my mic. Roll yourself over onto your right side. And just take a little stretch. You can use that left hand to either increase the stretch by pushing more, or you can back away from it by just easing off or backing off from it a little bit as well. Now roll onto your belly. And we'll come to the other side. So left arm stretches out this time. Right hand is your kickstand. Roll onto your left side. And then roll back onto the belly. Push back into downward facing dog, into child's pose. So take a variation that feels good for you. That may be that wide knee option with the big toes touching. Or it might be knees together and sweeping the hands back. So I'm going to take wide knees, big toes touching. Just one more breath. And then walk yourself up. So come up onto the knees. We're going to take a little variation of camel. So you're going to take your 2 blocks. You're going to rest them just on the inside of your ankles or your feet on their highest height. So find a position where you feel comfortable on the knees. If you need to roll up your mat and create some cushioning, you can do that. So just like this, just rolling it up. Create some cushioning if that's better for you. And then you also want to imagine your front hip bones moving forward, your shoulder blades coming together, and the rib cage not flaring out, but still pushing back. So you're going to feel a nice little support of a little tucking under of the tailbone. You're going to just take your hands to the blocks, if you can find them. Let's do one block at a time. So taking one hand to one block, lifting up, and then lifting the left arm up. So I've got my right hand down on the block and left arm up. I was clearly far too tight for 2 blocks today. So if you can grab for the 2 blocks and go ahead and do that. And then lower it down. Take your left hand to the block behind you and then lift the right arm up. Still thinking about shoulder blades together, front hip bones moving forward, tailbone long. And then let it go. So you can lose the blocks here now. Take a little swirl side to side, the head, the neck, shoulders, bending the elbows, straightening the arms, a little push back, so a little freestyle of movement. And then come back to take a seat again at the front of your mat. So just a little kind of some ways to peek into that. So some more positions where you're a little bit more static, some more options where you're a little bit more flowing. But just allow yourself to listen to your body and see what you need day to day. So the positions that we started out with are things that you can even do, you know, sitting at your desk at work. So, you know, that side to side, the rotations, just taking your time to pay attention to giving yourself a little bit of love in and around the upper body here. Take your time if you'd like to go into a little Shavasana, and if not, finish off with your Namaste.